Welcome to Modi Briefing. The content of the briefing includes Thursday briefing, Gaza is running out of fuel. A Hindu Mardi Gras where Indian progressivism is alive and well. Pro-Israel rallies allowed in India but Palestine solidarity sees crackdown. India-Canada spat is no-win situation for the US. What eucalyptus, beetroot salad and cutlery reveal about the US-Australia alliance. Thursday briefing, Gaza is running out of fuel. New York Times. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza has worsened, with Israel conducting wide-scale strikes and warning residents of a possible invasion. The fuel shortage has grown so severe that the UN agency UNRWA may need to shut down operations. Israel has refused to allow more fuel, fearing it could fall into Hamas's hands. The World Health Organization has warned that 12 of Gaza's 35 hospitals are not functioning and that 7 major hospitals are overcrowded. EU leaders have called for a humanitarian pause to allow more aid to arrive. The US has said it is working with regional partners to speed up aid delivery. The UN has stated that Gaza needs at least 100 aid trucks a day, but only 62 have arrived since Saturday. Israel believes targeting Gaza's military infrastructure will reduce loss of life during an invasion, while Palestinians accuse Israel of targeting civilians. U.S. intelligence officials now believe that the recent explosion at Al Ali Arab Hospital in Gaza City was caused by a Palestinian rocket breaking up mid-flight. A Hindu Mardi Gras where Indian progressivism is alive and well. New York Times. The Durga Puja festival in India has traditionally been a religious celebration for Hindus, but in recent years it has become a platform for political and social messages. The festival, which takes place in Kolkata, is marked by the construction of makeshift pavilions known as pandals, many of which now feature installations that address issues such as child labor, climate change and acid attacks. Some of the pavilions targeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi's right-wing Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, and its push for Hindu homogeneity. The BJP has struggled to gain support in the eastern Bengal region, where Kolkata is located. The party has used the festival to promote the construction of a Hindu temple at the site of a destroyed mosque in Ayodhya, which is a key issue for the Hindu right wing. The temple is set to open early next year, ahead of a general election. Some pavilions highlighted the festival's traditional themes, such as the empowerment of women. Pro-Israel rallies allowed in India but Palestine solidarity sees crackdown. Al Jazeera. Pro-Palestine protesters in India have reported being targeted by the government for expressing solidarity with the people of Gaza. Police in Uttar Pradesh state charged 2 men with promoting enmity between social groups for putting up a WhatsApp display photo that said "I stand with Palestine." In Aligarh, 4 students of Aligarh Muslim University were booked by police after taking part in a pro-Palestine march on campus. However, when the Hindu far-right group Bajrang Dal took part in a pro-Israel march in the same city, no action was taken against them. Similar incidents have occurred in other states, including Maharashtra and Karnataka. India's foreign policy has historically supported the Palestinian cause, but in recent years, the country has developed strategic relations with Israel and is now the largest buyer of Israeli-made weapons. Since Prime Minister Narendra Modi came to power in 2014, there has been a closer relationship between India and Israel. India-Canada spat is no-win situation for the US. Nikkei Asia. The US is caught in a difficult position between India and Canada as tensions continue to rise over allegations of Indian involvement in the murder of Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Vancouver. The US has no interest in choosing sides, as both countries are important partners in different ways. India is seen as a key strategic partner in countering China in the Indo-Pacific region, while Canada is a fellow democracy and a member of the Five Eyes intelligence sharing network. However, if Canada can provide convincing evidence of Indian complicity in Nijjar's murder, the US may be forced to act, even if it means sacrificing cooperation on China. Heavy-handed American criticism is likely to backfire, as many Indians are quick to point out that the US has conducted extrajudicial killings on foreign soil. The best-case scenario for the Biden administration is for Canada and India to resolve their differences privately, but tensions are likely to continue to rise as the situation unfolds. What eucalyptus, beetroot salad and cutlery reveal about the US-Australia alliance. The Sydney Morning Herald. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's state dinner at the White House was slightly scaled back due to the escalating crisis in the Middle East. The dinner, hosted by US President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden, featured a menu created by a team of all-female chefs. The meal included a butternut squash soup and roasted beet salad, sarsaparilla braised short ribs, and a hazelnut and chocolate mousse cake. The event marked another high point in the US-Australia alliance despite the challenges faced during Albanese's visit. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six from the 6 Degree World, here to bring you the latest news in a witty and humorous way. Today, we discussed a range of topics, from the worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza to the progressive messages conveyed during the Durga Puja festival in India. We also touched upon the crackdown on pro-Palestine activists in India and the delicate situation the US finds itself in between India and Canada. Lastly, we explored the special state dinner hosted by President Biden for Australian Prime Minister Albanese. Now, let's dive into the analysis. The situation in Gaza is dire, with a fuel shortage and hospitals struggling to function. While Israel fears the fuel could end up in the wrong hands, it's essential to prioritize the humanitarian crisis and find a solution. In India, the Durga Puja festival has transformed into a platform for political and social messages, addressing important issues such as child labor and climate change. It's fascinating to see how a religious celebration can evolve into a catalyst for change. However, the crackdown on pro-Palestine activists in India raises concerns about freedom of expression and the country's evolving foreign policy. Speaking of foreign policy, the US finds itself in a tight spot between India and Canada. Both countries are vital partners, and the US must tread carefully. With tensions rising over allegations of Indian involvement in a murder case, the US must navigate this delicate situation without sacrificing its relationships with either country. As for the state dinner between President Biden and Prime Minister Albanese, it showcased the strong alliance between the US and Australia, even amidst ongoing challenges. Now, it's time to hear from you, my fantastic audience. What are your thoughts on these news stories? Do you have any questions or opinions you'd like to share? I'm all ears. Remember, let's keep the discussion lighthearted and fun. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.